What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So it's been quite some time since I've talked about Star Wars on this channel, which is a real shame because Star Wars is one of my favorite franchises ever. A lot of you older subscribers know that I built the foundation of this channel around Star Wars, and I just love Star Wars. Star Wars games are some of my favorite video games ever. I played Battlefront 2015, Battlefront 2 for the longest time. I played all the old Battlefronts as a kid. I just adore Star Wars games. But lately, we haven't been getting very many Star Wars games. There just hasn't been much going on. We don't have any news about any future Star Wars games as of right now. Like, nothing has been announced. And this year just isn't looking very good for Star Wars in general, unless there's some sort of unannounced Star Wars game that might come later on at EA Play. If you go back to 2020, it wasn't a very good year for Star Wars either. They ended support for Star Wars Battlefront 2 after they had to work their butts off to get the trust back of their community. They had to rebuild the community from the ground up, and they successfully did that. And I think they were going to add more content to the game. I think COVID sort of put the final nail in the coffin for Battlefront 2, which is just a real shame because it's still one of the most played games out there to date on all platforms. People just absolutely adore Battlefront 2 at this point after all the changes they made and stuff. I even still go back and play Battlefront 2 on stream on occasion. There are still YouTubers that cover Battlefront 2 stuff every single week and they still get views, so there's obviously a fan base still for Battlefront 2. And it's just really depressing because once they ended support for that, Star Wars Squadrons came out and it just was really short-lived. It did not appeal to the masses. Nobody really cared that much about it. I tried to play Squadrons not too long ago and I couldn't even find a match. It took like 5 to 6 minutes of just sitting there waiting for me to find a match. So Star Wars Squadrons was pretty much a cash grab. There's nothing anyone can say to convince me otherwise of that. Now they did eventually add more content after the fact, which is cool, but overall the whole Star Wars Squadrons thing was just kind of a waste of time. I honestly keep forgetting about Star Wars Squadrons until somebody reminds me when I complain about there not being any new Star Wars games. I mean, we got one just at the end of last year. It just doesn't feel like it because it just didn't fill that void that was left there from Battlefront 2. And then going into 2021, we were supposed to be getting Lego Star Wars in the spring. I was really looking forward to Lego Star Wars because it got postponed from October to spring because of COVID-19. But now, as of earlier this week, they delayed the game again to an unknown date. We don't know if LEGO Star Wars is going to come out in the summer, in the fall, or maybe even 2022. We have absolutely no idea. The marketing has been atrocious for that game. They had one trailer, they haven't had any posts about it, they haven't had any news or anything in regards to LEGO Star Wars. And that was supposed to be one of the bigger releases coming out this year. And it has nothing to do with EA Star Wars. So that was supposed to be the game to sort of fill the gap between Star Wars games for us. And now that it's delayed, who knows what's going to happen? EA doesn't have any games announced. We all assume that they're going to make a sequel to Fallen Order, but technically that hasn't been announced in any way, shape, or form. We don't know if they're making a sequel to that game or not. We just assume that they are because there's a lot of developers hinting at the fact that they're working on it. So we don't know if they're going to have a Fallen Order 2. We don't know if there's a bunch of other Star Wars games in the works. It's not looking very likely at all that there's going to be a Battlefront 3 because DICE has all moved on to Battlefield at this point. They're putting all of DICE's eggs into the Battlefield basket, hoping that this new Battlefield is going to be a major success. So, I mean, I'm excited for Battlefield, but it's still, you know, it's not Star Wars. I wish that we would get a Battlefield and a Battlefront kind of simultaneously, or maybe one after another. Fingers crossed that after Battlefield comes out, hopefully they start working on a Battlefront 3. But other than that, there's nothing coming out at all this year from EA, at least. I mean, they still have the license for another couple years. Unless they pull another Squadrons. We didn't know anything about Squadrons until last year's EA Play, where they announced that it was going to come later that year. So hopefully this year EA Play, they have some sort of unannounced Star Wars game, and then that gives us like a good 5 to 6 months of like hype, them promoting it, them releasing multiple trailers and stuff, because that would be best case scenario. I keep seeing a lot of people talk about that Star Wars Hunters game, and I'm not even going to consider that a video game. It's coming out on Switch and it's coming out on mobile devices, so I'm not even going to like waste my time and effort even thinking about that, because I know it's something that I'm not going to enjoy, and I know it's something that a lot of people probably aren't going to enjoy either. It's just something that you might play when you're taking a dump or you're bored and you're just playing on your Switch or your phone, something to pass the time. It's not an in-depth video game. It's nothing crazy, so I don't even care about that. So throwing that to the side, not considering that a video game, other than maybe Lego Star Wars, there's nothing coming out this year for 2021. And oh man, it's just so depressing. And it sucks for me for two different reasons. Like, one, from a creator standpoint, and two, from just being a fan. I'm let down both ways because I want to make content around Star Wars stuff. And when there's nothing to make content on, I mean, I don't have anything to make videos on. And a lot of my subscribers are subscribed for Star Wars content. And if there's nothing going on, I mean, I'm not getting views. I'm not paying my bills. I'm going to have to probably get a part-time job to make up the difference for the fact that there's no Star Wars games. And it's not like a lot of the games that they've released have been flops other than Squadrons. I mean, Fallen Order was a huge success. It was one of the top selling games in 2020, which was a huge surprise to me, but a lot of people apparently really enjoyed Fallen Order, and it was a lot of fun. It didn't really give me that much content. I mean, I had like a month or two of videos to make for Fallen Order, and it did pretty well for views, and I like single player experiences, but I think the majority of you guys, the viewers, and just, you know, the average gamer, yeah, single player games are fine, but we want another like Battlefront type of experience. We want to play an online Star Wars game. We want to have like lightsaber duels or just huge open world battles and stuff. Like, there's a reason that those Battlefront games are so successful. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, we do know that Ubisoft is also making a Star Wars game now, and there could potentially be some other companies that are working on Star Wars games too that we're unaware of. I'm sure once we get closer to the summer, towards like the EA Play time and the E3 time, where like all these companies announce their games coming out later that year, we might get some sort of surprise from another company. We don't know when that Ubisoft game is going to come out. Maybe they could surprise us this year. If I was to guess, it might come out next year. And I also don't know if they're going to try to stagger Star Wars games. I don't know if they're going to want the Ubisoft Star Wars game to compete with EA Star Wars game. You wouldn't think it would be a very good idea to have an EA Star Wars game come out in October and the Ubisoft game also come out in the same year in October or November. You think that would be kind of a conflict of interest, and it wouldn't make them as much money. So if I was at Lucasfilm Games and I was like overlooking all the different companies that was making video games, I would want to stagger them. That way you have like game year after year after year. Every single year you have a new Star Wars game. That's what I would do if I was a businessman. That would make the most sense, but I don't know. It just sucks. I just wanted to make this video to sort of rant about how, you know, we're not getting any new Star Wars games, and it just kind of blows. There's nothing there to, you know, scratch that Star Wars itch. I wish they would have kept up with Battlefront 2 at least until the Mandalorian ended. That way we could have got some cool new locations or cool new weapons or heroes or stuff from the Mandalorian Season 2. I thought that would have been a good idea. But that's pretty much going to do it for this quick rant, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. I know a lot of you guys are thirsty for Star Wars content and stuff, but try to be careful out there. There's a lot of clickbait YouTubers out there. I've noticed that a lot of the channels that covered Star Wars Battlefront 2 back when it was in its prime are in like desperation mode right now. So they're just, you know, making up stuff. They'll talk about Battlefront 3. They'll have like 20 videos speculating about Battlefront 3. Unless there's like major news talking about an actual official release date or an official announcement, I mean, I'm not going to make any misleading videos like that. And odds are, if there's an announcement, you're probably going to hear about it from multiple sources. If you just see one random YouTuber out of like all the Star Wars YouTubers making a video talking about some sort of special video game announcement or new leaks, then odds are it's probably fake and they're just trying to milk you for views because they're desperate. Just be careful out there. There is a lot of clickbait that I've noticed over the past couple months. But yeah, if you guys want to keep up with me, I stream now on Twitch at SwanyPlaysGames Live. I stream a variety of different games. I've been having a lot of fun over there. I play Apex, I've been playing Minecraft, Outriders, pretty much whatever. I just switch around. I occasionally play some Battlefront 2 as well. And then I'm going to try to get Cookie involved back with the streams. That way we could, you know, have like the old Battlefront streams going on where we do different rewards and goofy stuff like we used to a couple years ago. Because I know a lot of you guys are interested in that. But that is it for me, everyone. Hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you all in the next video.